Yo, what's up, Scott, and anyone watching? Thanks for letting me try this out. It's just a feedback video. I want to see if I can get better at this so that I can help myself and hopefully help even more people with this hobby that we all love. So, to start, I wanted to mention your comment on my video, which was trying to get more steez into my show. I want to be able to display a lot of my personality so the viewer knows what a cheeky beep I am. Also, I think I need to clean some things up. I bleep up a basic finger roll in the clip. To be honest, I don't know what happened there. LOL. I think my hands have a bit of a natural curl to them, which might help out certain moves, but it makes it hard to keep my text straight. You can post this public too. Thanks a bunch, homie. But yeah, so once again, thank you for allowing me to do this. And next, we're going to go to the intention of your show, which was for the Too Much Sauce competition. This was the tryout entry round from the host. So you have to think about, so when you think about the intention of a show, you have to think about who your audience is going to be. And since this is a competition show, you have to know who your judges are. And your judges are all the members and specifically the captains from Too Much Sauce. So that's I put it down in the script. So let me find them. Yeah, there we go. Geode, Short, Flosin, Immersion, Bino, Gengar, Microdot, Illy, Bendabin, Mango, Frost, and Capo. So definitely Short and Flosin are going to be watching this. So you have to make it for Short and Flosin, and you have to do what they're looking for, and you also have to follow the rules, which are two things that I myself am bad at. So let's see what they're looking for. They actually put exactly what they're looking for in a post on GL, which is a secret, I believe it's just a private Facebook group. So if you're not part of GL, then you wouldn't be able to see this post. But if you are, which I know Scott is, it says what we're looking for is feel, cleanliness, steez, pacing, presentation, and you. So the rules, to my knowledge, were a finger show, 2:15 plus or minus 10 seconds. So your show fits in that, in that wheel park. Definitely, it's a finger show, and it's only 2:20. So you're within 2:21. So you're within the rules. So let's go to. So in the description, I'm gonna put this entire script. So I'm gonna put what I saw through on the first watch, and then I'm gonna put all this, and then on the bottom I'm gonna have a link of resources, which are just more videos if you're down to watch. So I'm not gonna go through the first watch. Let's just start watching your show. First 5 seconds. Okay. So first 5 seconds kind of tells a lot about what we're gonna see. It also shows what we got or what you're playing with. So I feel like it's not exactly meta to what they're looking for like the lighting at least, but your camera awareness is pretty solid, on point. I feel like this lighting would probably be better for a light show, but it is. I wouldn't say far too dark, but it is a little dark to where your hands and your person is. You know what I mean? So also, first 5 seconds, we see asymmetry with you turned to the side, looking towards front, and then we got the symmetry of you with your hands out. So I definitely feel like there's some themes going on. I can tell that you're going for that kind of tongue-in-cheek vibe, or you're looking to add steez into your show from that intro, from that just looking off to the side. So let's keep going. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so I want to point out that the way that you were breaking it out was probably the best, the best use of texture within this show. It was kind of clockwork. It was kind of puppet-like. I really liked it. I feel like that you could have used more of that type of texture with the moves you were doing earlier. Maybe even just instead of doing 1, 2, you could have just done 1, but like even more puppet-like. Just adding those like little dime stops. I feel like definitely, especially since you're doing a finger show, don't be afraid to do things that are harder to do with lights, because you don't have your lights on you. Take advantage of that. Let's keep going. Okay, I want to point out that was kind of an odd transition out of your thread. Well, because you had fun threads, but the thing is, I feel like that since you did the intro, you're going into the rising action. If you're pacing it so that that's your thread section, you should stick with more threads to get into other things. Where you did, I mean, I do like how that looks. But now you're into the cluster section, but you used a finger tut to get from the thread section to the cluster section, where I think it would work for your pacing better, and I don't know about your cleanliness better, because I did like that that transition with the poking to get to the cluster. So it's kind of up in the air, but pacing wise, 1 to 1 transitioning. But yeah, no, cluster section, let's see. Okay, so that's cluster section done. I feel like the way that you were doing your clusters, it felt a little shaky. I know I mentioned that with the threading, especially like right after that intro part, I really liked how it looked kind of puppety, but this cluster section didn't have that same texture. I feel like you could have added that kind of marionette-esque texture to your clusters, and that would have made it more. That would have added more steez, definitely. Yeah, since looking back, where'd it go? But looking back, you mentioned that you wanted to work on your cleanliness and steez. So, right there, adding that marinette texture to your clusters would definitely add steez. And it would also make it seem more clean, especially if you show that you're controlling exactly why everything is moving in that fashion. Okay. Alright, let me go back. Let's watch the cluster section one more time. So I do actually like it. I feel like that first move especially is one of your like signature clusters. So it's always fun to branch off and expand on those. Okay, right there. There. I like that. I like that a lot. Like, that's pretty good. It's dynamic. You're using the space that's available, and then it gets even better when you do that. So this is now the finger tutting part. So you transitioned from the cluster part into the finger tutting part. Now you got more dynamics happening. You went to the sides. You're using space well. That can definitely add to steez, although it can detriment cleanliness. Like, look at that snapshot right there. See, so it's definitely something that I feel like you can work on, though. I would recommend just throwing a throwing all your combos to the side, or if you have a mirror, or maybe just record. Uh, just record with your whole profile to the side so you can see how everything looks. That way, when you do something from forward and then you turn it, it'll look the same way that it should look from the front. And that's kind of also part of the illusion. That's part of the illusion, but it's a way to help clean up. Or I'm sorry, it misses part of the illusion, but it's a way to clean up how to make your illusion cleaner. I hope that made sense. Keep going. Yeah, see, and then you just got out of it, so it's not as fun. Went from the... Yeah. So you just got out of it, so that's not as fun. You went from the finger tutting part straight into the liquid part, which I feel like didn't have as much build up, or it didn't have the same type of energy and combo as the cluster part did. I feel like if you're gonna separate into different concept trees, actually I believe I was talking with Algorithm about this, about pacing. We were discussing how to really block out and build off on one concept tree can really help your pacing. So if you're to block out an even bigger space, maybe just that 4, 8, 16 bars to really make it, because I feel like you didn't use a full 8 on that finger tutting section. Let's go back to it. Because you went straight from the cluster part. Yeah, see, because that was a little awkward too. And then just straight into that. I mean, you did do what the music is calling for though, so that I can't knock you too hard on it. Okay, and then let's watch that one more time. Okay, so that, although it's not bad, I definitely feel like you can clean it up by doing, if you ever did just just hand flow where you're going back and forth with the wave, it really helps you get more independence of where a wave can go. And also, don't be afraid to use smaller waves, because I feel like that'll place your elbows in a more favorable location, so that all your moves stemming from there will come out a little more clean. Because I feel like your elbows were going a little too all over the place, which is also an issue of mine sometimes. So I can't knock you too hard for it. But your liquid is definitely something that I would like to see you work on, because it does have promise. Yeah, and then let's right there. I feel like you mentioned it also, but that's not your best finger rolls, right? Off to the side there. I would actually recommend doing more whips so that you can get that finger you can get more of that finger independence, and then you can trail that into your rolls. And then I would definitely recommend doing more rolls. You do some at near the end of this, so I can't knock you too hard for it here. But no, yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind about the difference with digiting and gloving in general. So let's go back here. The not as big finger roll, and then into the better one. Yeah, see, that's a better finger roll, definitely. I mean, you stumbled a bit on your pinkies. But I feel like it's only because you're trying to think of your next move. Don't be afraid to pause every once in a while. I see that you do have some times where you pause, but you also have more times where you wind up just drifting. So it's not the worst thing, but like Glover's sway is real. it hits everyone, and it's something that's good to work on, especially if you want to be more technical and play with like a lot more isolations, which you will in this next part. Yeah, okay, let's go back real fast.
Please wash your hands and replenish bodily fluids.
Okay, so first off, I really do like that square. That is a nice square within a square. I like your thumb placement. You just landed here, so I definitely enjoyed that. But this part coming up, yeah, you see how you were a little shaky on that move? Although you did hit the musicality, I feel like it didn't. Yeah, the little shake actually hit like the drum well, but I feel like the texture it didn't match, so it didn't look as intentional as I think you made it to be. And then let's keep going. Yeah, see, like over there too. It's something that's a little hard, but that like shakiness, that it it doesn't really deter from the isolation, but it does make it seem less clean and less practice, the less control it looks like you have on it. But I do think that, like, I really did enjoy that puppet-esque, marionette-esque feel of that right after the intro of the threads. So if you're to add that texture just throughout your show, even to this part, to where you were finger tutting, I definitely think it'll add more like steez. And it would also add more you-ness to it. So I do like this part though. This part has really good speed control. Yeah. See, because that was excellent speed control. You were hitting things that I heard in the song. Like musically, you hit the things that I wanted you to hit, so that was prime. And that was great. I really liked because it's, even though it's simple and it feels simple and kind of dumb, sometimes that's just what looks good, and that's also simple is the best way to like bring out the you-ness of a move, or like the steez in your moves. So like when you moved it to the side, that was pretty steezy. See, like this part's kind of saucy. Yeah, see, that part's kind of saucy. I really liked how you added the flails in there, but it was, I don't know, it just didn't, because you're not using lights, I couldn't see the trails, so I can't comment too much on how clean they were. But yeah, no, I did like how steezy and how much feels they had, especially towards, since this is like the climax-ish part, you know what I mean? Oh, best part right here. Okay, the transition out wasn't as good, but let me zoom back from the steez. Yeah, okay, from right there on was great. Right here, yeah, because that hit the music well. I like how that looks aesthetic-wise. I feel like you can definitely build off that, and I would enjoy if you did, especially if you built off into more clock-esque things, because I know you did you did one move where it was out into the side of it, but I feel like you can build even more off that. One thing I like to do with rolls is trace, like, you know, poi, like circle patterns, So I'll do this thing where it's just trace like a one pedal in spin, just that like top pedal in spin, and then you can like play around with. I know it doesn't look the best, but it is fun to play with. So if you wanted to expand by using some of those things, that'd be awesome. And then right there, it wasn't the best transition out, but I do love that ending. So that was your show. I did really like it. That was I don't know if I would say that's the best show I've seen from you, because I do prefer your light shows, but it was definitely a good show. And back to your intention, if I was judging, does this have the feel, cleanliness, steez, pacing, presentation, and the you that I'm looking for? And the answer to that is, if I was going with if I was going with like 1 to 5, then I would put feel as 2, cleanliness as 2, steez as 2, pacing as 3, presentation as 4, and you-ness as 3. And then the rules, it looks like you followed them right. Final thoughts, overall, I liked your show. You're definitely been on my watch list anyway because you thread, and I love threading. I mentioned texture a lot while discussing how to add more steez, and just that how to to bring it into your show throughout, because I did see it in some parts but I didn't see it in others. I have some. So what texture basically is it's a thing that's always part of your show, but it can be manipulated more thoroughly when you're more aware of it. Kind of like space versus the grid. It doesn't have to be extreme. Like, you don't have to base it off like a full different character or location. But those are great ways to fill out a show, create a show, and to think more about what your character is. So, and also how to add more you-ness to a show. So some examples of fun texture questions, if you want to play around with some, is stuff like how would a gorilla do this cluster, or like if this tree was to impact, how would it do like an M3 strobe cage? Just like, you can do super abstract questions like that, or you can do simple things like so make a move that looks like I'm bouncing a pebble across a lake, because that's what the song sounds like. So you'd be like, oh, okay, it sounds like a pebble across a lake. Make a move that looks like a pebble across a lake. But also you can build a whole story off it. Like I mentioned, you don't have to, but you can ask yourself questions like 3-act structure. First act, a man falls into a pit. Second act, man reacts to things in the pit. Third act, man gets out of pit. I'd also like to add that confidence adds cleanliness, and if you do something confident enough and you make it goofy, then it'll showcase how cheeky you are as a person, which is something you mentioned in your comment. And I definitely feel like the character you portray can grow from who you are, like, as a person. So adding more you-ness into your character can definitely add more to your show. Never be afraid to add just random stuff that you yourself also do, and that'll add more personality to your gloving character. So in the bottom, just a reminder, in the description, I got the first watch through thoughts, and then I got this script, and then all the way at the bottom I have the more like supplemental resources. So it's basically just more videos to watch if you're down. I have them all kind of labeled so you can kind of get what the reason is that I put it there. But there's a lot more that we can learn from this. Don't be afraid to hit me up more and ask questions if you have any from here. Thanks for letting me post this, and If you watched all the way through and you're not Scott, thanks for watching. You're insane.